Well, what is up, all of you Ugnots and Jawas out there? This is Mando Talk, and I am your host, Caleb Keller, and this is so exciting to do. I love doing this idea of live streaming, and honestly, this was all Zach's just random idea the other night because we have so much Star Wars news that's out there right now. So, Zach, first of all, how are you doing? I'm glad you came up with this idea, and welcome back.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here, like always, but we're doing it live. We got a bunch to talk about. I was talking to Keller. I was like, dude, let's just do it live. We got a ton of news. Maybe we'll get some people in the chat talking. I want to hear their thoughts, and I'm excited. Who else we got over there?
Dude, we have the return, the re-arrival of the brother in the force, Jacob Keller. Jacob, long time no see. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Just soaking up life as it goes along, you know.
Aren't we all? Aren't we
Yeah.
all? Now, this is Friday, obviously. We know that the Bad Batch is out there. Zach, have you seen the recent episode of the Bad Batch?
You better believe it,
Okay.
boy.
We are not going to get into spoiler talk of the Bad Batch tonight because we're only focused on Star Wars news tonight for our live stream right now. But if you want some Bad Batch content from us, again, go check out the quick takeaway videos that I keep putting out on Fridays. I'm having a lot of fun doing those, so go check out that video if you have not done so already. But any like non-spoiler things y'all just want to go ahead and throw out there and maybe tease our audience to come back and check us out on Monday because that's when our big spoiler discussion of the Bad Batch is coming. So any non-spoiler teases before we get going?
Yeah. Number one, love the episode. Number two, I was right. I'm done.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Jacob. Jacob just watched it before we went live, like literally just a few minutes.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I wish I could go into more detail.
Yes, 100% agree. Well, listen, Zach, it is now time for you to take the floor. We said the title of this live stream is Tons of Star Wars News. We got tons of Star Wars news, so let's hit it. Zach, why don't you go ahead and lead us off with the first one?
Yeah, man. Tons to talk about. That's why we're doing it live. That's why we're going to spend the entirety of today to just talk about news. So, number one, we are looking at Variety. Okay. They came out with an actor on actor interview of Ewan McGregor and Pedro Pascal. And some good stuff came out of this. If you haven't watched it or listened or whatever, go check it out and hear it from them. But some highlights I wanted to bring up here. Number one, Pedro revealed that they have not begun shooting season 3 of Mandalorian.
Mm.
Keller, maybe onto something there from last week. Number two, Ewan revealed that he saw a real stormtrooper for the first time on set and stated, quote, "I feel like I was 6 years old again," end quote. So let's just stop there. All right. That's enough.
Yeah.
Number one, Mandalorian season 3 not being filmed. What is your thoughts, Keller?
Dude,
Well, Caleb.
yeah. We're Keller squared again this week
Yeah,
or
sorry.
tonight.
Yeah.
I can't say that I was bummed or disappointed or surprised because I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit here. I've been talking about how I really don't expect to see The Mandalorian season 3 until late 2022 at the earliest, and I've even gone as far as to say potentially not even until 2023 because we got Kenobi, we got Andor, and we'll talk about those later, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. But we know those are shooting right now, so it would make sense for them to come before that. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not surprised, not disappointed because I just had a feeling that that was the case.
Yeah. Jacob, what's your thoughts on that?
It is kind of disappointing to me, but you know, I can see it. I can expect that. What with all the other shows that they're shooting right now, that's a lot going on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
Um,
we've talked about it on. So we didn't even know where they'd pencil it in. And with, as we always bring up, The Last of Us, Pedro is literally the star of that show. So I don't know.
Yeah, that I think that Last of Us thing is really throwing in my prediction. It's not really a prediction. I guess my
Your feeling.
potential, my feeling of the
Yeah.
2023 release, because I don't know when The Last of Us is shooting. I don't know its schedule, so we'll see. We'll see about that one.
Yeah. Okay. And my thoughts on it are it is disappointing to me a little bit. However, I'm not surprised by it just because of how much info we're getting on Kenobi and Andor, just like you said, echoing you a little bit, or both of you really. And I want it as soon as possible. However, don't rush it. Get us. They've. It
Right.
looks like they have a plan. They at least it on the surface, it looks like they have a plan with Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, and then Mandalorian season 3. At least
Mhm.
that's what I'm vibing on, and I'm kind of picking up what Caleb's saying, where you got nowhere to put it almost. I mean, you could squeeze it in like Marvel's doing, but I think it's a better call to let it marinate, have Book of Boba Fett do its own thing, and then let Mandalorian shine. So,
No,
all
I
right,
agree.
moving
I
on.
agree.
Yeah, moving on to the second one. Saw some stormtroopers there.
Yeah, yeah.
That I don't know if he realized what he said. I don't think. I think he just was saying a fact, and it's a bigger deal to me than he thought it was. I think because I like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then the fact that he's 6 years old again, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Him revealing that there are stormtroopers in this show, I think for him, he was probably like, oh, it's just Star Wars. Stormtroopers are in everything. Here's this information.
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal. However, I mean, that gets me just my wheels turning here. We keep talking about a Vader Kenobi rematch of the century. I think that's just leans more in, so maybe he does go away from Tatooine. He sees some stormtroopers off that planet. But you could also see, Zach, something that you've loved about with the Bad Batch. We could see depending on the timeline here, we could see the Empire start to take control of Tatooine and see those stormtroopers come in. That would be really cool. Jacob, what
Yeah.
were your takeaways with Ewan, saying some things, not thinking he gave away much, but I think he
Yeah.
gave away plenty.
yeah.
I don't know. It definitely evokes to my mind just like the stormtroopers that we saw in A New Hope, where they're just kind of dusty, dirty, kind of stormtrooper armor with like those orange shoulder.
Oh, like
Pad
the
things.
commander pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
just think they might look cleaner in this
Mm.
show because they could be just coming in. It all depends on the timeline that this show is set in, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because they could be just moving in there, still establishing a presence, setting up garrisons and all that, or they could have been
Yeah.
already been there a while.
It makes sense that there's stormtroopers in the show, right? I mean, at least to me, but
Yeah,
I just love that he said it, and it was like, like you said, not a big deal, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that is kind of a big deal
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's really awesome, and it just like basically certifies it for us that something's going down with
Yeah.
some stormtroopers.
and then
So-
it does lend itself to wondering, well, how many more stormtroopers do we get to see aside from maybe just the normal patrols?
Exactly. I'm super excited about Kenobi, man, and the more
Yeah.
that they're starting to drip feed us with it with content, and Ewan is just killing himself on the press tours of this, and it hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
I am very impressed with what they're doing. I think they know what they have with Kenobi.
Mhm.
At least that's the vibes I'm getting. If we're already getting content about Kenobi and they're filming it currently, I think they realize what they have. But like I said at the top, check out the video with him and Pedro. It's really a good conversation. And you need to say something, Caleb.
No, I was just gonna say that initially in the middle of the week when this interview came out, I thought this was gonna be the big thing that Mando Talk had to cover, and then we were just gonna go into the Bad Batch. Like I thought there was enough meat on the bones with this that we had a busy show, but that wasn't even the half of it. So let's just go ahead and keep going with this news.
Yeah.
But I will say, to echo you, great interview. Go check that out if you haven't. It's just two dudes having a lot of fun interviewing each other. I didn't even know about this platform, honestly. I love that idea from Variety of actors interviewing actors. Phenomenal. So
Yeah.
go check that out if you have not done so.
There's one that I believe it was Wanda. Elizabeth Olsen did one recently. She got interviewed, and it was really, really cool. Can't remember who she was interviewed by, but it's worth a check out too if you
Okay.
like Marvel. You know, I gotta get my Marvel plug. Come on.
You
Come
had
on.
to.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Loki started this week, by the way.
Yeah.
Go watch
Yeah.
it.
Me and Jacob are
are
planning
we-
on watching that
Okay,
together
cool.
soon.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Fire. But all right. Number 2 on the news for the week. We're going to keep talking about Mandalorian. This comes from Collider. They confirmed that Mandalorian 3 is not in production, but they tell us why. It's due to the shooting of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we kind of thought that, we've speculated it makes complete sense. But another point they bring up is that Mandalorian season 3 is expected to begin shooting late 21 or early 2022, lending itself to that late 2022 timeframe. I gotta say, yeah, it's looking more and more like we're gonna get Kenobi, and then a little bit of time, and then boom, season 3. So, what's your guys' thoughts on
Well,
that? Does it kind of signify everything you've been saying?
Yeah, well, again, we kind of alluded to that point already. Just to echo it, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, part of me is, okay, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, part of me is really bummed by this because we know, everyone here, we're Mando Talk. I mean, we based a show off The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, for me, brought this fan base back together. And I really hate, and don't get me wrong, Kenobi and Boba Fett are two characters that are tremendously important for this franchise. But for us to put off Mando while it was riding so hard, like hit after hit after hit, and we got to delay it maybe an extra year than what we initially expected, like part of me is bummed because I feel like that might just derail its momentum. But I have a feeling that like once they put that first trailer out, I'm sure everything will be A-okay again. I guess so. Now that we're talking more and more here about news, usually I'm positive. I'm going down a dark route here, guys. Y'all need to help me.
One thing about it on the dark side for me would be it puts a lot of pressure on Book of Boba Fett. Now, it's already got a lot of pressure. It's Boba Fett, right? But we're not getting Mandalorian this year. Where can we point our fingers at what we want to get pissed off about? It's going to be Book of Boba Fett. And I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm getting nervous about that, but I just, I want it to be good. And to me, hot take, Book of Boba Fett does not replace Mandalorian in my heart, at least yet.
Right.
So,
No, it can't.
yeah. So it's like, I'm excited about it. I can't wait to watch it, but I wish it would have been season 3 and not Book of Boba Fett.
Agreed.
But we're going to take what we get, and I hope it's amazing, and I hope I'm like, oh my God, boys, it is amazing. This is so good. Jacob, what do you think on that?
Gosh, I mean, I could just reiterate what both of y'all said. Earlier you said the word marinate.
Yeah,
for
I love
season
that
3 of the, because marinated pork chops.
Oh, it's that baby is gonna be
Hold up.
marin. That thing is gonna have some flavor.
Man,
it
when
better
I think,
have some
when I think
flavor.
of marinated, I don't think of pork chops. I think of steak, baby.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
that
right.
too.
That's right. Hey, both. That's what I was thinking. It better be a freaking good steak if we're waiting the whole year. on
Anyway,
it.
what were you saying?
No, I mean, they need to marinate on season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, because they have a lot to live up to, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we're at the peak of quality Mandalorian content at the end of season 2, so
Dude.
got to be pretty freaking good.
Yeah, and now we're having to wait for it.
Exactly,
so-
which even goes, you know.
That's true. That's a good point. And
Yeah.
even to add to that, if you had more to say, please just cut me off. But to add to that, I had a buddy of mine who hadn't even seen season 2 of The Mandalorian yet until today. He just watched the first episode, and he texted me, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, that was so incredible. Like, I don't know why I haven't watched this yet. I don't know how this is going to be beaten." And I'm like, dude, you're in for a treat once you get to the end
Yeah.
of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, I mean, episode 1 is good, but I mean, golly,
Yeah,
that build up is fire. So,
it is.
yeah, that's kind of where we sit on Mandalorian. Looks like it's coming probably late 22. You're probably right. Dadgummit, Caleb. You,
Hey, you know.
spoke it into existence.
Hey,
That's a,
It gives us credibility
credibility.
credibility around here, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, number 3 on the news here is Book of Boba Fett. We've been talking about it a little bit, but looks like Book of Boba Fett has wrapped filming. And there's a little nugget that it needs to be brought up here, right?
Yeah.
Ming-Na Wen posted an image of the wrap gift that they get. So they get stuff after they get done filming. And it says Book of Boba Fett Season 1.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
boys, does that mean second season confirmed?
I am going to say yes. I
Okay.
just have a feeling that it's going to be one of those things where. Okay, let me backtrack a little. I think it's one of those things where it's labeled as season 1 with the potential of bringing back another season. But I have a feeling they probably brought Book of Boba Fett to a natural good conclusion, but with like a little scenario here where they could come back to it if they feel the need to. I think maybe it's just labeled as season 1 for that. Maybe that's just given a different answer. Jacob, what do you think?
I'd agree with you.
Okay.
It just leaves it open for a season 2. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zach, what do you think?
Yeah.
Where I sit on it is where my mind goes on this question. When I first read it, it did not confirm it to me. I was like, all right, whatever, season 1, it's season 1. However, I got to thinking and, marinating it a little bit. And
Hashtag marinate Mando
yeah,
talk.
hashtag marinate. So I think it does confirm that they at least want to do a season 2
Yeah.
because, you know me, guys. Come on, I'm thinking of WandaVision. I'm thinking of thinking of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm thinking of Loki. I don't know if any of that stuff said season 1, and tell me if I'm wrong on that. I would love to know, but
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing any sort of content about it labeling seasons on those. Now they've said that they're going to come back potentially with Falcon Winter Soldier, but
right.
I just was thinking about like WandaVision. That's a perfect 1 season thing. Boom.
Yeah.
Now, and with what they're going to be dipping into in Book of Boba Fett, seems to lend itself for more seasons.
Yeah. So something I was just thinking on. Don't forget that Favreau, the reason why he wanted to get in Star Wars in the first place was his love for Boba Fett. I think that is really his main passion, is exploring that Boba Fett character, because he's one of the original fans that was around during the original trilogy that wanted to know, gosh, there's this super cool character from Empire Strikes Back that just suddenly gets loosely killed in Return of the Jedi, and we don't get any more of him after he looked that awesome. I think Favreau is just one of those fans that's just like us, and he sees this as an opportunity to finally explore that character that really got his creative mind going at a very early age. So he would be crazy to not leave the opportunity open for multiple seasons.
And that
makes
kind
a
of goes
lot
into
of sense.
I think this goes into our next point. I'll let you go back, Jacob. But from Collider again, they said think of Book of Boba Fett as Mandalorian 2.5 in terms of seasons, because there are going to be characters from Mandalorian to appear.
Right.
So if you're doing a Book of Boba Fett show and you got the freaking Mandalorian as your backbone, you got to pull on some of those characters, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, duh. And that excites me because
Yeah.
who do you guys think, we might see?
Well, we definitely know Finnick, right?
Yeah.
Now, for me,
Fair.
yeah, for me, just want my want. I don't know if it will happen, but it would line up because they're at the same planet. Cobb Vanth, baby. Timothy Oliphant. That is by
Yeah.
far. I always say these things and then I like backtrack as soon as I'm about to say them. Cobb Vanth, I think, is one of my favorite characters from The Mandalorian so far. Like top 3, top 4, top 5 at least. So
Well,
I would
did you
love
s-
to see him come back.
There was a picture of him on like a talk show or something, and he had Cobb Vanth hair. don't know
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
saw
if I
that.
had that hair regardless, I'd be rocking it 24/7,
So-
365, baby.
I mean, it's a good looking human. All right, let's just call it what it is. He's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
He's a good looking dude. But I do agree. That's where I was gonna say. Is I really think he's gonna be in that show. Why would he come out of nowhere with Boba Fett armor? It just makes sense that he would be this
Dude.
Marshall type character when we're looking at the underground of, it just this conflict that is already naturally there.
Yeah.
I think they should explore it, and they will explore it.
Visually
Jacob, do you-
imagine like a one-on-one shootout between Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett. Ooh.
I think Cobb Vanth gets absolutely smoked. Is what
Yes,
I
he
think.
does.
But
Jacob, what are your thoughts on Book of Boba and maybe Book of Boba as the Mandalorian 2.5? Feels like the Lion King 2.5 almost.
I've never watched that.
Yes, you have.
No, I
Get
haven't.
out of here. Whatever. Back to Book of
That's
Boba
fine,
Fett.
though.
What do you think?
I'm excited for it. Yeah, we know we're gonna see Fennec Shand. Man, it'll be cool to see a show that's all about the underground of the Star Wars universe.
I concur 100%. That is
Yeah.
what gets me so pumped about this. We've got tips and toes of it about in Mandalorian and in Bad Batch a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, and I would say the only other place is maybe
Solo.
Solo. Let's see,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit in Rogue One.
I'm trying to think back to Rogue One, maybe where we saw some underground things. Well, Crimson Dawn. A
Yeah.
little bit. Just a little
Little
tease
bit.
here and there.
Well, I just can't wait. I hope they go all in on that with him being this, basically mafia boss. I hope that's
Yeah.
the play. That would make me so happy.
Yeah.
And going into our third topic of Book of Boba Fett,
Mhm.
perfect transition.
Yeah, perfect.
So Tamora, is that how you say his name?
Tamora.
Tamara Morrison. He had an interview with Rotten Tomatoes, and it was also, awesome. Star Wars, they just decided to finally give us content this week. And he said, quote, "We're going to see his past and where he's been since The Empire Strikes Back. Now's the time to actually go back in time and check out his journey and find out more about him." End quote. That is a ridiculous amount of information that he
Yes.
lets out.
Yes.
I mean,
it is.
whoa.
That again gets my Star Wars fan nerdom cranking as far as potential for what that could even look like or what that could mean.
I mean, to me, it confirms, well, not even confirms, it gives us more than what I thought we were going to get. I didn't even
Yeah,
think we would go
for
back
sure.
to tell this story.
Yes.
Now, him saying,
I didn't either.
now's the time to go back, I agree with him 100%. I mean, if you're going to do it now. And we get to see how he ends up this nomad in the desert with the crazy weapon and stuff. Like, I hope we get those answers. That would make me so happy. But I hope they reflect it with where he is now as this mafia boss. I really hope. Well, all right. I just had a flashlight or a light bulb turn on, boys. It's called Book of Boba Fett. Maybe that's where we start here. Maybe we don't get the mafia boss. Maybe we get chapter 1 as the book, and then season 2 would be him being the mafia boss. Go ahead.
Petition
Yeah.
to get, gosh, I hope I don't get his name wrong. I think it's Daniel Logan, the Attack of the Clones actor. Petition to get him back in it somehow. That plays Boba Fett as a kid.
Yeah, the
Whoa.
kid.
I think it's Daniel Logan. I might have
Whoa.
butchered his
I'll look
name
it up.
so bad.
I'll look it up. But Jacob, what do you think about what Tamara Morrison said?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. And like you said, that is not at all what I would expect. That's That's not at all what I expected the show to be giving us.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, I thought that it would be timeline after season 2 Mandalorian
Yes.
forward,
Yes.
following Boba Fett.
Exactly.
I did not expect at all that we would be going back all the way to Empire Strikes Back.
Right. Like from
And that's
And it's a
gosh.
great call by Caleb saying, how this is, John Favreau, he wants to tell this story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Again, now's the time to do it. He's got his own daggum show, so you do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
And
And
if
that
you
makes
can
a
give
l-
us satisfying answers of what happens after he falls in the pit, like,
Mhm.
man, that gets me way more excited about this show.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already excited, but that bumps me up big time because I want those answers.
Yeah.
So I
But
think
that's also back all the
Sorry.
way to when he's a bounty hunter for the Empire.
Mhm.
His career is working
Oh.
for the Empire.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, great call. Maybe we see that as well. Maybe we see Boba Fett becoming this what would you call him? Legend, I guess, is what he would be. I don't know. This absolute beast.
Yeah. Beast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited. Caleb, what do you think?
Well, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, I remember initially when we saw the Book of Boba Fett pop up at the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian. For me, at least, and I saw it a lot online too, online chatter of, "Oh my gosh, is The Mandalorian going away? Is this season 3 of The Mandalorian? Is the Book of Boba Fett? Is that why they kept calling them chapters? So the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian was the Book of Din Djarin. The third and fourth
Yep.
season would be the Book of Boba Fett, and so on." I remember that speculation going on, but with Tamara Morrison's quote here, I'm thinking that the Book of Boba Fett is literally going to be chapters of his life. And Zach, I think you kind of alluded to that earlier, where we're going to start chapter 1. Maybe it is a young Boba Fett back on Camino. Chapter 2, maybe it's then in between Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope. Chapter 3, and so on. Maybe they don't spend full episodes on that. Maybe it's more so of like back and forward, flashback, present time. But initially when I saw the end of The Mandalorian 2 with that tease, I'm like you guys. I thought we were picking up right there, and we were just continuing the Mandalorian timeline. But not only that, the Book of Boba Fett is going to, it sounds like, overarch this entire franchise all the way from the prequels. Even potentially we're slowly leaking toward the sequels. That's great to see. I didn't see this coming. Incredible quote from Tamara Morrison. I don't think he realized what he did.
Yeah, I mean, what a quote. That's so much, man. And maybe he did. Maybe Star Wars, these smart freaking people, they knew that him saying the words Empire Strikes Back, that's huge, right? I mean, that's all you got to say. And then you say, oh, yeah, Boba Fett said that. And it's like, oh, wait, whoa, what? So I can't wait. This got me way more excited, even more than I was. And another freaking rumor, number 4 on our list, Bosk is rumored to make an appearance.
Bosk.
Ooh, right on.
Give it to me, boys. Give it to me.
Right on.
I want to see it. Come on. I'm excited. I'm excited. Give me all the bounty hunters. I just want like people I don't even know. I just want to be like, oh yeah, that dude, legit.
Dengar.
That's what I want.
Dengar, that's how you say his name, right? The guy that's like really ugly looking with the cloth around half of his face. He's in the background of Empire Strikes Back as well.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, man.
I know I would remember if you showed
I'm pretty
me a
sure it's
picture.
Dengar.
I think Gringar is a Pokemon.
What about we've gotten IG 11 from
Yeah,
the
and there's
Mandalorian, but what about IG 88? We
Yeah.
could see that. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Cad Bane.
Oh.
From the Clone Wars. I know, Zach, you might be a little like, who the heck is that?
I've heard
right
of him.
now?
Heard of him.
It
Everybody's
is-
like, oh yeah, Cad
Gosh.
Bane. I was like,
Jacob, I'll
No.
go ahead and just pass the torch to you then. What would you think about the potential of a Cad
Oh,
Bane
dude.
appearance
I
in
would- oh,
in
my.
the Book of Boba Fett?
That would be so overwhelmingly awesome. Okay,
do you-
so
do
they
you-
didn't do
you
it.
think they'll do
in-
it?
They didn't do it in the Clone Wars, right? But the story is that there was a showdown, like a shootout, between Boba Fett and Cad Bane, right?
Yes, like it's an
Ugh.
unfinished Clone
Man,
Wars
that would be
episode.
so cool to see that in this show.
Okay. And all to the listeners, we in the Discord, we've been having some Discord.
Yeah,
And looks like I'm gonna be watching Clone Wars and Rebels, boys. At
Dude.
least Rebels.
You need
At least
to.
Rebels.
Look,
You need to.
it's going to be a great series to do on the podcast. Like, I think it
Yeah.
would be great to have Jacob and I, who have seen these episodes numerous times, and then get your like initial reactions and compare the two. I think that would be totally interesting to see. So, if you're watching live or if you're watching on the playback, comment, type it in the live chat. What do you think? Do you want to see that from us? I think that'd be pretty fun. But anyway,
Yeah,
back to this.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it anyways, so
Yeah.
I want it to be interactive with the show, so I can talk to you
Agreed.
guys, but everybody, and we get something out of it. But we'll get there. Just want to throw that out there. Everybody's watch Rebels. I'm like, all right, I'll watch Rebels, boys.
Yeah.
All right.
But Bosk,
But
man.
no,
So
Yeah.
the potential of sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
Yeah,
just
whoa.
wanted to make sure that I threw Bosk up there on the screen again because I just think it's really cool to first of all, those of you that may not have remembered who Bosk was, there he is, Trandoshan. I can't wait. Again, this again connects back to what Tamara Morrison said. It sounds like we're just answering all over or going back throughout the franchise. Can't wait to see it.
And that guy's name was
Right.
correct. That you got his name correct. By the
Daniel
way.
Logan,
Yeah, Daniel Logan.
let's go.
Tim.
I would love to
So-
see him come back.
Any other points on Book of Boba Fett or anything we went over so far? We've been dumping out a lot of content here.
Dude, I
with
feel
the
like we
news.
have, man.
And
There
we're
wa-
halfway.
There
So,
was one thing that I wanted, or potential. We alluded to this last week, the spoiler as far as the comic book goes. Jacob, I don't know if you've heard about this news, but Kira made a return to a comic last week that's after the events of Empire Strikes Back. So she's around during the age of the Empire, and we are led to believe that she is now the leader of Crimson Dawn because Maul is no longer existing.
Right.
So I did go ahead and put this in the show notes, and I would just love to hear you guys'
Yeah.
thoughts because I don't really have any thoughts on it other than I'm okay either way. Could this be an avenue of seeing Kira somehow at least, or is that just too much? I feel like, for me, I feel like that would just open up a huge can of worms that the Book of Boba Fett wouldn't be able to answer. What are your guys' thoughts? Jacob, let's start with you, unless you need to ponder over it for a minute, because I know this is the first time you're even hearing about Kira being back. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, Zach, you go first.
my thought would be, I think it could be very interesting, but it would be very hard to get right. I think, not in the sense of dropping her in. I think that's possible with the setting we're in and the information, but the questions that's going to get brought up that you're going to have to try to answer, I think might be too much. But you know, I know Solo, some people love it, some people don't, but this could be a great way to tie something in from Solo and get it deeper in the roots of Star Wars, kind of like what they did with the comic book. So do I think it's going to happen? No, but I would be excited to see it.
Yeah.
Jacob.
He's still thinking. I'm going to just echo what you said, though, Zach. Like, yeah, I think it does. It would be cool to see. I don't really need to see it, though, in order to enjoy the Book of Boba Fett, personally.
Right.
That's right.
It would just leave a lot of questions as to, what was Crimson Dawn doing the entire Empire era, and, why didn't you hear about them between the Hutts and
Yeah,
everything going on there?
that's a great point.
You don't want to open, like you said, open up this can of worms that, oh, it's cool an idea, but then us as fans, of course, do what we do, and we're like, all right, this don't even make no freaking sense. Like,
Yeah.
with these powerful underground group is never talked about ever in any of Star Wars. That's weird.
I mean, they at least talk about what is it? Where they mine spice?
Kessel?
Yeah. C-3PO at least mentions, they'll send us to the spice mines of Kessel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that has to do with the Pikes. And
Right.
they at least mention that in the originals, but you don't hear anything about Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe to end the thoughts on this, I think if they do show Kira or imply about Kira or Crimson Dawn, it'll only be for one reason, and that is that they are committed to doing a Kira or Crimson Dawn Disney Plus show. They're going to throw that plug in there for the Book of Boba Fett to, again, make this big interconnecting web of they're like, oh, here's this character. And then 2 months later, here comes Crimson Dawn, a Star Wars television show.
I don't think they do that, but I do have it. That brought up a question I want to ask you guys. I don't think we've ever really talked about it. Do we see Din Djarin in Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett?
Yes. I'm going to
Okay.
say yes.
Hmm.
In some form. In some form.
Okay.
No?
Do you think so? I
don't
say
think
no.
so.
I vote no on that. We got to go up against you there, Caleb.
Okay.
I think the reason, I'll give you my reason. I'm on the fence. I will say, I don't think it's 100%. You're
Mhm.
wrong, but I think they're gonna let Boba Fett do his thing and let it breathe,
Sure.
and not, if we see him, it's gonna be the end, right? Or the beginning. It's gonna be like setting up the season or chopping
I
off.
see
the
what you're
season.
saying.
Like, I don't see him popping up as like a, oh, hey, remember me? I'm Mandalorian. Come watch season 3 in 2025 or whatever.
I see
But
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
you might be right. I kind of hope we do. I think it would be great, especially to scratch the itch of Din Djarin, but I had to ask while we were here.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. So, Book of Boba Fett. We'll close up on that. We're keeping it rolling here,
Dude,
folks. We
so
still got a
much,
lot more.
man. How long have we been going, and we still got plenty to get
We've been
to.
going 37 minutes. 37.
Exactly, and we're not
And
even
we're-
close to done, boys. This is
Yeah.
I'm loving it though. This is a great Star Wars conversation.
That's right. That's why we do it live, because we're just doing it. There's so much.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about Andor. I feel like we talk about it every week.
Yep.
Because we know they can't keep their mouth shut about this.
Nope. Or their lenses closed.
or their or their sets kept away from people. So this one's pretty cool, I thought. So the cast member Stellan Skarsgård,
Yep.
love his last name, brought up that Forrest Whitaker is set to reprise his role as Saw Gerrera in Andor.
Oh boy.
I am surprised that it's actually Forrest Whitaker, but I'm excited about it. I'm really excited, actually. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to see what he's doing in this time, especially after we've seen him in some recent stuff. If you haven't watched it, spoilers.
Good point.
But I'm happy to see that he's going to be a part of this. So I'll let you guys take on what you think.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's very exciting to see these connections again. It seems like they are so dedicated with all of these projects that we've mentioned tonight. It seems like we keep coming back to this idea of connecting to the franchise. It's just one big cycle, one big machine. Rightfully so. That's how they make money off the thing. If this is the first time, if Andor for some reason is the first time that people see Saw Gerrera, maybe they'll feel impelled to go back and check out Clone Wars, Rebels, and everything else that he's been in, the Bad Batch. So I'm not surprised that they keep doing this. I am intrigued to see how Saul gets involved with the plot line, especially because we know that we're starting, at least from my interpretation, I think we're starting in the early days of the rebellion. And we know in the Bad Batch, it was teased that Saw Gerrera is already trying to rally a group of people to start said rebellion.
Like day one. They're like,
Day
Empire.
one.
Nope. All right, rebellion.
Nope. He is one of the first generation of rebels.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see Jacob. What do you think? Are you excited to see him back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hinted at in Rogue One. We see in Clone Wars Saw Gerrera, and we see him in Bad Batch. We know how much of a leader he is in
Yep.
these stories. And in Rogue One, we hear about how he was like a major leader for the rebellion, but he split ways with the. I don't know. Maybe it was like political differences or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, I
can't
remember in Rogue One, Mon Mothma says
Yeah.
that he was too
Too
radical
extreme,
or
yeah.
too extreme,
Yeah, I was gonna
something
say,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he got too radical. I think
Yeah,
is what it
something
what
along
it came
those
down
lines.
to be. And Forrest Whitaker, let us remind everybody, he's an incredible actor.
He is.
I mean, that dude can act. So
Add
the
him to
fact
the
that he's
list of Marvel talent as well. You know, your love for Marvel. I figured I'd throw that plug in there.
yeah, I mean, I think he's awesome, and he's a great actor. Just happy to see him back. It kind of makes sense to
Mhm.
me. Bring him back, have him beat. Maybe we see this fall that they allude to. Maybe we see him, kind of lose himself to the war. I mean, just living in war like that,
Oh, that's
can't be
something
good.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And loss.
We talked
Yeah.
about on the premiere of the Bad Batch. We talked about how he clearly hadn't gotten to that defeated state that he's in Rogue
because
One.
he was very much like, we're going, like, we got to get together. We got to, we're rebels. We got to
yeah, and because
screw the Empire. And then when we see him in Rogue One, he's all dilapidated,
Right.
and kind of scary and
and
crazy
even
a little bit.
even in Jedi Fallen Order, he's already gotten that breathing tube and everything
Yep.
else that he needs. In Rebels, he's like that as well. So maybe this is that gap of that they can fill in, tell that story behind why Saul Guerrera is at the state that he's in by the time we see him when the
I
rebellion.
think we see that.
Yeah. That
Okay.
would be cool.
Because I
I
know
think-
after the premiere, I said that it might happen in the Bad Batch, but I mean,
Well-
I would obviously prefer to see it live action over the Bad Batch.
What
personally.
I think is Bad Batch may see his rise, and then Andor see his fall.
Ooh,
Um,
I like that.
But I don't know. That may be too connected, too smart for them to think ahead. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool to see. All right, but also on Andor, still some news here
Mhm.
coming from the Direct. This is the source for this. Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic coming on back to Andor. We've talked about it before with the rumored costumes and everybody looking like him.
Yeah.
I'll give my take. Give me Ben Mendelsohn. I
Yeah.
love that
Golly.
dude. He is
Yeah.
an amazing villain, amazing actor. I love Orson Krennic. Give it to me.
Yes.
Jacob, what do you think?
Heck yeah.
You agree?
Yep. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I'm-
I'm all in on that.
The only Empire villain that could beat him as in terms of an officer is, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I'm going
What?
to add Admiral Thrawn to that list too.
Yeah, there you go.
he
Yeah.
hasn't proven himself to me yet.
Yeah,
so-
because you haven't watched what he said.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I love Orson Krennic. So, Caleb, what were you gonna say?
So I was just going to say, for one, let's make sure that with Saul Guerrera, that coming from Stellan Skarsgård, I'm going to assume that's like 100% on the
True.
money.
I know what you're
Number
gonna say.
two, though, I just want to make it clear for those listening that this is just straight up a rumor at this point that Ben Mendelsohn is coming back as Orson Krennic from the Direct. Obviously, I'm going to trust from the mouth of a crew member, of a talent, of a cast member of Andor over the Direct, and that's not a shot at the Direct. I know they've been on the money with some things before, but currently this is just a rumor. So let's make sure that expectation is set. Let's not get 100% like this has to happen, kind of one of those things.
Yeah,
But I will say this, and I don't know if y'all stand at the same place with this. I'm more excited about this, about Krennic coming back, than I am with Saul Guerrera coming back personally. Like y'all said, Ben Mendelsohn, honestly, everything that I see him in, I can't get enough. I know Rogue One, I wanted to see more, and we got a ton of them in it. So this is nothing but exciting for me,
Yeah.
and the potential is ginormous. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree 100% with you. This gets me way more hype than Saw Gerrera. I mean, that's be cool to see Saw, but this definitely gets me more excited on the scale. And I'm glad you brought it up. Not confirmed. Neither one of these are technically confirmed. But I do agree that the cast member saying it, I feel like, I mean, what?
Right.
Why would he say that?
Well, and again, just to point this out, and Zach, I know you're on the screen too at the same time, but just look at this guy. Look at Krennic and how perfect Ben Mendelsohn fits that Empire role. I mean, he
Oh, yeah.
Just that
I
he's
could-
like slimy. Just,
yes, I could look at this photo for hours, honestly, and I just get so much like Imperial Star Wars vibes. I love it. I love it to death.
Like it to sum it up, it reminds me perfectly of what you're saying in The Last Jedi. I'll hype up Last Jedi when that dude, when they're blowing up the big thing, and he just like gives that like smirk, just like you
Yes.
son of a, and
Oh, crap,
it
what's
was
his name?
just the perfect Empire like death.
Oh, I'm forgetting
I don't
his
know.
name, man. But yes,
I don't know his name, but
Who, what?
I love
What is
that.
this?
the officer that's in the dreadnought
Yeah,
at the beginning of the Last Jedi that
When
Poe
Poe
ends
and-
up taking down.
Mm. Okay.
And
I
they
see.
drop they get that the lady gets
Yeah.
the dramatic I missed it, didn't miss
Dude.
it thing, and
Th-
then he just gives that just slimy, just like still a scumbag to death. Like I loved it,
And I've-
and that's what that oozes to me.
Yes, 100%. And I
Mhm.
know that I don't want to do this, but I've said it before. Hux, his change there in the sequels kind of throws me off a little bit. This dude really put Hux in his place for me. And I can't even think of his name, but he was so intimidating and he fit that Imperial First Order
Yes.
role so perfectly. And yes, Ben Mendelsohn fits that role phenomenally. I can't wait to see if this is true. Again, if this is true, can't wait to see director Krennic return
And
in Andor.
I mean, it would make sense, right? It would make sense that he was in the show. If we're gonna get some sort of ties to what we've seen in Rogue One, then it would just make sense that he'd be there.
Mhm.
Jacob, are you excited to see him there?
Yes.
See him back?
Absolutely.
Touche. All right, that's all we got on Andor for this week. I mean, I say all. That's a good amount. So we're gonna move on to what are we, number 5?
Who knows at this point, but
Or
it's awesome. That's
5.
all I know.
That's right. Hot topic 5. Talking
Hot.
back about Kenobi. Just one little note. Liam Neeson was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he denies any involvement with Kenobi, saying, quote, "I heard Ewan McGregor was going to do a series. No, I haven't been approached," end quote. Is he telling the truth, boys?
Okay.
Hmm.
When I read the quote,
Hmm.
I got a little worried. I was like, you know what? There is no way that they miss this opportunity. They cannot do this to us because the entire fan base is expecting to see. I just about said Obi-Wan
Force
Kenobi.
Ghost.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon
Yep.
Jinn in
Mhm.
Kenobi.
Like Kenobi sitting there meditating and he communes.
Yes.
He
Just
talks
paint that
to-
picture for us, Jacob. Paint it
Yeah.
clear. Paint it clear.
Okay. There
Do it.
he's
Do it.
he's sitting on a rock in the Tatooine desert in the Dune Sea and he's just sitting cross-legged. You have the double suns there. And he's got his eyes
gonna make me-
closed, but then his eyes
You gonna make me
open,
cry on a Friday night?
and Qui-Gon
On
Jinn
a
is
live
sitting there
stream.
in front of him as a Force ghost, and Obi-Wan has a question, and Qui-Gon is like,
Qui-Gon says,
Let's
What
do
does
"Yeah,
it.
idiot."
What does he say at the beginning of Phantom Menace? Oh my gosh, it's something about you must look into the present, not toward the future. Yeah. Oh my
Be
gosh.
mindful of the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he drops that,
Oh.
I'll probably cry. I'll probably cry right there. I ain't
Oh,
gonna lie,
man.
that'd be amazing. And you gotta do it.
Mhm.
You
do.
gotta do
You
it.
really do.
Come on. And the
You have
big thing
to.
about Qui-Gon was that he learned how to do Force ghosting,
Mhm.
right?
Force
Am I correct in
ghosting,
thinking
yes.
that?
Yes, you are correct.
Like, so why the crap would you not have him do that when you've literally brought it up? I think he's lying through his teeth, boys.
Yes.
That's all I
I
gotta
hope
say.
so.
No, and that's what I was going to say. Like, when I read the quote, I was a little worried. But then I actually found the video, and I watched the video. I really believe Liam is straight up lying after watching the way he delivered it. It's like one of the, I mean, Ewan McGregor did it for years. He was saying that no, he hasn't been approached for Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's not doing
Yeah.
a show. He's not doing a movie. And then, like, what, a year ago, or 2 years ago at this point, I don't even remember when it was announced.
Comes out on stage.
Maybe even 3 years ago. We're honestly getting to that point. But he finally comes out and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been lying about this for a while. We've had this planned. You know, I've just been
Yeah,
lying
I
through
mean-
my teeth." I think it's one of those situations potentially where Liam knows how special of
Yes.
a moment it would be, and he obviously he couldn't contractually reveal that he's going to be making an appearance. I think it's one of
And
those situations.
First off, Jimmy Kimmel is owned by ABC. I mean, they're
Yeah.
owned by Disney,
Yeah.
so they're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'm in that." But number two, I want him to lie. Lie, please. Don't tell me.
Right.
I don't. And the fact that he said it the way he said it. Now these actors are good, man. You gotta. If you listen to the words they're saying, they can thread a daggum needle where they don't lie.
Mhm.
And the way he says, I heard Ewan McGregor is gonna do a series. The way he made it sound like it's just like, oh yeah, I heard about that. No, I haven't been approached. Complete lie. Like I just
Yeah.
that, to me that just smells like he is just saying what he has to say
Uh-huh.
to get it off his back, and then episode 2 we're gonna see him or whatever it is, right? I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong because I feel very passionately that he is lying.
I don't think you're wrong at all, honestly. I fall under the same boat. What do you think, Jacob?
Jacob, do you think he's lying through his teeth to our face?
I hope so. I hope so. But I would have to see himself, like his mannerisms,
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
he's talking. But it sounds like from what y'all are saying that y'all are probably right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you watch the clip,
Yeah.
Zach, of him saying it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He's also like making reference to like they don't have enough money. They don't have enough money to get me to come back.
Oh.
Okay. Star Wars doesn't have enough money.
we're
man.
talking
Come
about
on now.
one of the biggest franchises in the history of the world. Like, all right, Liam.
Yeah.
All right, they'll back the truck up on your house. All right. But I think he's just doing what he's supposed to do and saying nothing, saying I've not been approached, because it reminds me of I'm going back here, boys. Spider-Man,
Uh-huh.
No Way Home.
Uh-huh.
Rumored that we're getting our other Spider-Man,
Mhm.
right? And freaking Andrew Garfield looks the camera straight into the lens and says, I am not been approached about it. And I also feel heavily that he is lying through his teeth too,
Mhm.
but I want him to. I don't like lying, but I want him to lie on this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to know. So,
Well,
all right. Any other thoughts?
Well, I
Caleb?
was just going to say real quick, I do remember an instance of this occurring in Star Wars. I don't know if you guys remember when The Rise of Skywalker, the production was initially getting going. Matt Smith was heavily
Yep.
reported that he was going to be in The Rise of Skywalker, even to the point where people were saying he was going to be a young Palpatine. And even he eventually in an interview said that he had no involvement. Nobody believed him. Nobody continued to believe him. And then
True.
When we finally got the film, he really wasn't in it. So we've been led to think they're lying before, but I guess they're
I
just
still
good at
think-
acting.
This is a hot take on this one. I still think he filmed scenes,
Okay.
and I think they got cut.
I think I don't know about filming scenes, but I do agree that at least in the initial script, I think he was a young Palpatine, or maybe
I think he was involved.
maybe even the what's the word I'm looking for? The body to hold his power.
Mhm.
There's like a term.
Oh, his vessel.
Yeah, like his vessel, like Palpatine's young vessel. I thought maybe even that was maybe early in the script. I don't know about shooting scenes though. I mean, I love that idea, and I would love to see that, but we'll
And again,
we'll
I may
never
be
see it.
completely wrong. Yeah, we'll never know, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just the fanboy in me. I hope he's lying.
Yeah.
but it's also the way he said it. And why would Jimmy Kimmel bring it up? I mean,
Right.
he's owned by Disney. So it's either actually true and it's going to kill all of us, or it's going to be him lying through his teeth and he's going to come out on the scene and Force Ghost and we're all going to be like, yeah, he's alive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, all right. That's all we got on old Liam there.
Yeah.
That was a great talking point, though. We had to bring it up. All right.
Absolutely.
On to the last one, boys. Last one.
Officially?
I think so.
Man, it took us a while to get there, but here we are, boys.
Well, we've been talking for almost an hour on news. It's been a good hour, though.
Dude,
it's been
it
a
has.
good hour.
It has.
Last thing here. So, Taika Waititi.
Yes.
Love him.
Yes, we love
Love
Taika
this
Waititi.
guy. So he has been killing it over at Marvel, and he's just flexing on us at this point that he is gonna get to do his Star Wars project. And he says, after he finished working on Thor: Love and Thunder, Taika was asked about what was next, and he says, quote, "I don't know if that's going to be Star Wars next. I hope it'll be that, but there's a whole lot of other things that I've got my sticky little fingers attached to, so we'll see," end quote. What an awesome quote by Taika. But I kind of wish it was Star Wars. I know he's a busy guy. He's super hot right now. I'm sure he gets whatever he wants. He's been absolutely on a hot streak. Thor Ragnarok, Jojo Rabbit, Thor: Love and Thunder, the Into the Shadows show. I think he has a part of that. He's just killing the game, and he can kind of do whatever he wants. So I really hope that it's Star Wars, but I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think?
So, quick question for you, Zach. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thor: Love and Thunder has wrapped shooting, correct?
That is correct. They wrapped, I think, last week.
Okay.
It was either last week or early this week where Chris Hemsworth dropped this picture and he's just absolutely jacked.
Dude, he really is.
Dang. Right on.
So they finished
Rip.
shooting, but when does that movie actually even come out? Like, isn't it still like 2 years away?
I think it's 2022.
Really? I thought for some reason I was thinking
Maybe you're right.
2023.
I think you might be right, actually. Yeah. 2022. Let's see. Thor: Love and Thunder. Love the name, by the way. May
Yes.
6th, 2022.
Okay, that's a lot quicker than I was expecting for some reason. But anyway, so my question then from that is, how long is he going to continue working on Thor: Love and Thunder? Because obviously we got post-production. How much does the director have in play with
lot.
that? Okay.
I would say a lot. I mean, he's going to be in there for months working
Right.
on CG.
And we know that he's going to be, press tour and all that craziness as well.
Yeah,
Once
because
they
that's
start
normally
cranking that out.
That's right. They wrap shooting and then they start digging into editing and CG, which is a huge piece of these puzzles, right? And then they honestly, a lot of the times with these big films is they'll be working on it as they're doing the press tour.
Right.
So they'll be like doing press in the morning and then working on it at night, which is insane because they're doing this for years of their life. But, so I don't know. It's going to be a minute before he gets to really dig into it. But I like to believe that he's at least working on it on the side. I mean, these guys are freaking workaholics.
Yeah.
So.
Don't forget that I can't remember her name, but she wrote 1917. She is co-writing this film with him. So with that said, I haven't even seen 1917, but I've heard great things about it. Zach's making a crazy face like, geez, why have you not seen this movie?
Yeah, I'll smack you through the screen because it's a good movie. It's a good one, man.
Only heard good things. So those two paired together to write a Star Wars script, I'm sure it's going to blow us away, honestly. But what I was trying to kind of get to there, we know Rogue Squadron's coming in 2023, at the end of 2023. I think that probably gives, 2024 at the earliest, or 2025, more than likely, of Taika's film hitting.
Yeah, I'm looking on IMDb IMDb
Mhm.
about this writer you're talking about. Her name is
Yeah.
Christy Wilson Carnes.
Correct. Yes, there it
Got
is.
to give her a shout out there. I know
Yeah.
she listens, so I
Yeah,
just want to make
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. I'm sure
Um,
she's listening right now.
yeah. So it says 2025 for Taika's
Okay.
film.
So there you go. What?
Um,
4 years? 4 years away. And I'm assuming Star Wars is going to keep with the late in the year movie releases until they prove me otherwise. We're just going to assume that maybe in the winter months, Christmas time. So I mean, we're a good 4.5 years away. So they're in no rush at this point. If Taika has to get his quote unquote sticky little fingers involved in other projects, it sounds like he's got the time to do so.
yeah, I agree. Jacob, what do you think about Taika in his
I
Star Wars
mean,
film?
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. Do we have any idea what it would be about?
No, but all I
No?
know is I keep
No
alluding
idea.
to this image, and again, Zach, you're on the screen again, even though you might not be saying anything. The image of Star Wars, the way that looks, I know it just blew me away for some reason. Just that logo, the retro of it, the cool colorway of it. For me, my interpretation of that and knowing what Taika brings to the table is it's going to be different. And that's all I know about the
Yeah.
film.
I hope that it is a Taika Waititi film in a Star Wars toy box. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
I don't. That may be a hot take. I don't know if I really want a traditional Star Wars film with his.
Hmm.
He has proved me wrong with Thor Ragnarok. I was very much like, this looks weird and dumb
Yeah.
and completely different. And it is probably, it may be my favorite MCU movie. It's high. I love that movie. It's Taylor's favorite.
Yeah.
Like, it is funny and it is crazy. And it looks like Thor Love and Thunder is going to be the same, but it may be even more. And I want that in Star Wars to an extent. I
Right.
don't want
Mm-hmm.
Thor Ragnarok level, I don't
Mhm.
think, but I want it to be as risk taking and as funny and as crazy as Thor Ragnarok, but
Yeah.
in a maybe planet hopping fun adventure in Star Wars.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right on. I'm looking forward to that.
I tell you what
Yeah.
would probably be
Pumped.
best for us to do. Go back and watch Chapter 8 of The Mandalorian. Don't forget, Taika Waititi directed Chapter 8 of The Mandalorian. There's a good clue or a good hint as to what it might look like. Now, obviously, he didn't write that entire script or he didn't have everything to do with its production like he will with his film. But still, I'm sure that director's style, the humor, and all those different things that make Taika Waititi's films stand out are in there somewhere. So that might be some homework that we need to do here at Mando Talk.
Well,
Chapter 8?
if you,
Chapter 8, I think it was the finale of season 1.
Yeah.
that's correct. It was the finale. He was the director. Did he write it as well?
Oh, did he? I might have been
No,
wrong.
no. I'm asking.
For
I
some
don't
reason, I
remember.
just always assumed that it's For some reason, I always just assumed that it was Favreau or Filoni or actually no, Rick. Oh, and I always butcher his last name. Famuyiwa. Jacob always corrects me. What is it?
I mean,
I
you
don't remember. I'd have to
He
read
doesn't
it.
even remember.
I mean,
He wrote his directed episode, so maybe Taika did write that final.
he did not.
He didn't. Okay.
John Favreau wrote it. So
Well, there you
I
go.
just want to clear that up.
There
Old
you go,
Favreau's
folks.
killing the game. But he did write Jojo Rabbit. And if you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, go watch it. Make it your homework. It is about Nazi Germany. And freaking Taika Waititi plays Hitler. And he is Hitler, but in this little kid who lives in Nazi Germany's like imagination. So it's like his imaginary friend is Hitler. It is bonkers and it is so good and it's so satirical of Nazi Germany and how ridiculous it was, and it's just so good. You got to watch it.
Yeah, I've never
It's this
seen it.
weird blend of like laugh, but also like really deep, hard hitting stuff. It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
And I've
but-
heard great things about that film. I just haven't found it.
Go watch
or
1917.
I know, dude.
And go watch Jojo Rabbit.
There's
I think,
so much on my to watch list right now. It's just hard to get to all of it.
Oh, I feel you on that. I watched. I know it's a Star Wars.
Hey, it's all
podcast,
good,
but
man. It's all good.
I watched Bo Burnham's Inside Again the other night. What a freaking masterpiece!
Still haven't seen it. However, I've heard so much stuff and seen so much online buzz for it.
It is
Dude.
so good. And without COVID, we would have never got it. And it is just somehow sums up that time in one film. It's just so good, man.
Interesting.
It's so good.
Interesting.
It's worth a watch.
All right.
All right. I think that is all
Dude.
we got, boys. We killed it.
We got through
Killed
it.
Yep. Star Wars news, first live stream of the Star Wars news. Thank you everybody for joining in or watching back.
Mhm.
We can't wait to see, drop it in the chat if you're, watching it on replay. What do you guys think? Thank you for supporting us. We didn't talk about it at the top, but social medias,
Dude,
right?
yeah.
At Mando Talk, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, blowing up.
Let's go.
Come follow us
Let's
on
go.
TikTok.
We're
Getting
on
them likes,
TikTok
getting them
now.
followers.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
No,
Getting them.
so to connect
Go
this
ahead.
back to TikTok, dude, this week we just hit all this news. You only get 60 seconds on TikTok, bro. And trying to get all of this news in our weekly This Week in Star Wars segment for 60 seconds was tense. I kid you not. 30 takes. It took me forever to get somehow word it correctly to get all of that news in 60 seconds. It was
killed
rough.
it, though. You killed it. And on the same note, come join our Discord. If you stuck around this long, you're an OG. We love you guys, and
Click
we
it in the
really
description.
Yep, in the description. We want to hear what you guys think on all this, and we drop funny memes and gifs and gifs or however you say it, and it's just a good time. So it's free. Come on over. And Keller, I'll let you take it away. Oh yeah. Oh, you already know. Birdman's in there.
Listen, don't forget, if you're still with us or watching us at this point, Bad Batch, we still got you covered. It's coming on Monday, like our normal schedule, but with there being so much news, and I mean, we're at the hour 7-minute mark at this point, we didn't feel that it was appropriate to have both the news and the Bad Batch together in one episode, because we love Star Wars and we love talking about it, and we didn't really want to rush any of the different things that are going on, so we decided to just split those two apart. So come check us out on Monday, our normal thing for the Bad Batch breakdown, spoiler discussion, and also let us know if this format is something that you would like for us to continue to do. I know for me personally, I'll go ahead and say I really enjoyed doing this. I think it gave us a ton of time to dive deeper into these topics. Again, we're at this hour mark where it's a good episode length, and it was free. We were able to crack up a little bit more and just have some fun, and hopefully those of you watching were able to see that, and we appreciate you watching, allowing us to come into your living room or wherever you're watching us. It's a blessing regardless of how many of us there are. It's humbling, it's awesome, and we can't wait to continue to do great things like this. That's really all the things that I had to say, but I do want to say thank you to Jacob for being here. We appreciate you finally coming back, man. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's been since first episode of Bad Batch.
That's
Dude,
right.
it's been since May the 4th.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long
6
time.
weeks.
That's a long
Well,
time.
It's good to be back, and I had a lot
Yeah.
of fun here tonight.
Thanks for coming back, man. It's
Absolutely.
always good to have you.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Zach, you good, or you good with me sending it?
Oh, I'm good.
All right.
Let's roll it.
Well, let's get out of here. We will see you on Monday, and as always, we have spoken.